Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started. Today, we are walking a very tightrope. I mean, on one side, you have this crushing, just primal fear of going blind.
And on the other, the absolute pinnacle of human beauty and art history.
We are breaking down Mona's Eyes by Thomas Schlesser.
It's a novel that, on the surface, feels like a medical mystery. But if you look closer, it's really a masterclass in how to see.
You don't just mean visually, do you?
No, not at all. It's about how to observe the world before it, potentially disappears.
Yeah.
It forces you to ask, if you knew the lights were going out, what would you need to see to survive the darkness?
That is a terrifying question. And this book, it sets the stakes so high, so fast, there's no easing into it. We are dropped right into the terror.
Right. It's a Tuesday, a totally normal evening. We meet our main character, 10-year-old Mona. She's doing math homework. Fractions of all things. And then just snap, the lights go out.
Not the room lights.
No.
Her lights.
Total sudden blindness for 63 agonizing minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the panic in that
Oh,
house?
absolutely. Her parents, Camille and Paul, they rush her to the hospital, and this is the first big twist, by the time she's in front of a doctor, her sight is back.
Just like that. It's gone, and then it's back.
And this is where the medical mystery really kicks in. You'd expect, I don't know, a tumor, nerve damage, something.
Of course. But the specialist, Dr. Van Orst, he runs the whole gamut. MRI, retinal scans, blood work. And the results aren't just normal. They are bizarrely good.
They call it sharpshooter vision, right?
Yeah, she has 1810 visual acuity. I mean, she can see details at distances most of us would need binoculars for. So her eyes, physically, are superior instruments.
But they're failing her.
Exactly. It's a total paradox.
So what's the theory? What does the doctor think it is?
He sort of lands on a transient ischemic attack, a TIA.
Which is, for anyone listening, basically a mini-stroke, a temporary blockage of blood flow.
Right. It mimics a stroke, but without the permanent damage, usually. But here's the rub. A TIA in a healthy 10-year-old is incredibly rare.
So it's a diagnosis of exclusion. They just don't know what else to call it.
Pretty much. But the threat is clear. It happened once, it could happen again.
Yeah.
And next time, the lights might stay off.
And you have this ticking clock just hanging over this little girl.
Mm.
And that's when the hero of our story, or at least the guide, steps in. The grandfather.
Henry Vuman, or Dade, as Mona calls him, he's this cultured, a little eccentric older man. And his reaction to all this is, well, it's not what you'd expect.
It's desperate, but it's also beautiful.
It really is. Henry decides that if Mona's world is going to go dark, he has to furnish her mind before it happens. He wants to build her an internal library.
I love that phrase. It's like a survival kit, but instead of food and water, it's Botticelli and Michelangelo.
He wants to burn these images onto her retina so she has them later.
So he proposes this secret therapy. Every Wednesday for a year, 52 weeks, he's going to take her to a museum to see just one piece of art.
Just one.
Which feels a little counterintuitive if you're racing against time.
Well, that's the whole point. He's teaching her deep looking, not just scanning, not snapping a photo and moving on. He thinks if you spend an hour with one image, really understand it, it becomes a part of you.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. And we have to mention their cover story because it's brilliant.
Oh, this is great. Her parents think she's seeing a child psychiatrist every Wednesday.
But she's actually going to see
Dr. Botticelli.
which is just perfect because their first stop is Botticelli's fresco, Venus, and the three Graces presenting gifts to a young woman.
A pretty gentle place to start, very Renaissance. But Henry isn't just pointing out the pretty colors.
No, no. This is where the book becomes almost a lesson in neuroaesthetics. Each artwork comes with a philosophical lesson. For the Botticelli, it's learn to receive.
Okay, what does that mean for a 10-year-old?
It means you have to be open, a vessel. Before you can give anything back to the world, you have to let beauty in. If you're terrified, your instinct is to clench up, to close off. He's teaching her to stay open to the light while she has it.
That's powerful. So he's training her emotional resilience.
And then they move on to the heavyweights. Raphael, Michelangelo. With Michelangelo as the dying slave, the interaction becomes really physical.
Right, because she's too small to see it properly.
Exactly. So Henry, who is not a young man, he lifts her onto his shoulders. It's this incredible bonding moment. He wants her to see the struggle right there in the marble. The lesson is, free yourself from matter.
Which is ironic considering they're terrified of her physical matter. Her brain is betraying her.
It's his way of saying the spirit is stronger. And we should probably mention something about Henry's own body here.
Oh, yeah, that's a key detail. He's not just some art lover.
No, he was a war reporter. He has a scar on his face, and he's blind in one eye from an attack in Lebanon.
So this is not theoretical for him. He knows what it's like to lose half your world.
He knows sight is a privilege. He's trying to give her that urgency. But while Henry is focused on her mind, Mona is relying on something else. A talisman.
The seashell pendant.
Right. This little cornet shell on a fishing line. It belonged to her grandmother, Colette, who died. And Mona is convinced, pure magical thinking, that as long as she wears it, the blindness won't come back.
It's her good luck charm, her Dumbo's feather.
And the book shows us just how fragile that is. There's that scene in her dad's vintage store where the fishing line snaps.
My heart stopped. It falls into a vent grate.
And the reaction is instant, pure panic. The blindness comes right back.
But she doesn't tell anyone.
No, she claws the grate open, gets the shell, puts it back on, and her sight returns. And in her mind, that just confirms the superstition. The shell is the cure.
It's such a dangerous crutch. And Henry seems to sense she needs to toughen up because he takes her to see Goya.
Ugh, the still life with sheep's head.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's just raw, severed meat.
A total contrast to the Botticelli.
It seems like nightmare fuel for a scared 10-year-old. Why do that?
Because the lesson is, monsters are lurking everywhere.
Mm.
Henry is teaching her that real observation doesn't filter out the ugly parts of life. And Mona gets it. She looks at the painting and says something amazing.
It looks like eyes sprouting on meat.
Isn't that incredible? She's processing the rot she feels inside her through the rot on the canvas. It's art therapy in its rawest form.
Speaking of therapy, while all this is happening, Dr. Van Orst is trying hypnosis.
Right, because the MRIs are clean. You start thinking this isn't coming from the brain, it's coming from the mind. It's psychogenic.
And during these sessions, Mona starts seeing her grandmother, Colette.
Mamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we learn that Colette's death is this big taboo in the family. Nobody talks about it. It's a knot of silence.
So the blindness is a physical symptom of that silence.
That's the theory. It's called conversion disorder. The emotional pain, the grief, is so great that the brain converts it into a physical symptom. Her brain is literally turning off the video feed to protect her.
Wow, that's tragic. So she starts keeping a journal.
Yeah, she's trying to write her way through the grief her parents won't discuss, while Henry's trying to help her see her way through it.
Which brings us to the Musée d'Orsay. We're moving into Impressionism, emotion.
And Henry throws her a curveball. He shows her mayonnaise the asparagus.
Which is exactly what it sounds like, a single stalk of asparagus.
Mona's not impressed at first.
Yeah.
But the lesson is so profound. Less is more. You don't need a grand battle to make great art. If you look at a vegetable with total focus, it can become a universe.
Finding the miracle in the mundane.
Yes, but then the mood shifts, big time. They visit Camille Claudel's sculpture, The Age of Maturity.
That piece is devastating, a man being dragged away from youth by old age.
And the lesson is, love is desire, and desire is a lack of something. It gets them talking about aging, about time running out. The sculpture is basically a mirror of their reality.
That tension. It finally snaps. They're looking at a painting by Hammershee, a woman with her back turned, and Mona feels dizzy.
She instinctively rips off her pendant, just to breathe better.
And boom.
The lights go out. Right there, in the middle of the Musée d'Orsay.
The nightmare scenario, public blindness.
And Henry have to talk her down, be her anchor, until it flickers back on. And again, they hide it from her parents, they're co-conspirators.
She needs the visits. They're her only sense of control.
Right. But the secret can't hold forever. They move to the third museum, the Beaubourg, the Pompidou Center.
Modern art, abstract art.
The art is getting more fractured, and so is the family. They look at a Jackson Pollock, and Henry tells her to go into a trance, to lose herself in the chaos.
Like he's preparing her for the chaos to come.
Then they see a Louise Bourgeois installation, a kind of cage. The lesson is know how to say no. It's about boundaries, which is deeply ironic because Mona's boundaries are about to be completely obliterated.
Her mom finds the journal.
Catastrophe. Camille reads everything. The Dr. Botticelli lie, the repeated blindness, all of it.
The confrontation must be explosive.
Oh, it is. Mona screams, "You are the worst."
Yeah.
But it forces everything out into the open. The grief, the secrets. The family has been sick.
And after that explosion, they get one last visit.
One last one. They stand in front of a work by Pierre Soulages,
Who is famous for painting in black. Just thick, heavy black paint.
which is everything Mona fears. Black is the void, blindness, death. But after a year of training her eyes, she sees something else.
She says black is a color.
Yes. She sees the texture, the light on the ridges. She realizes darkness isn't an emptiness, it's a terrain. It has life in it. She reframes her entire fear.
It's the synthesis of everything she's learned.
Which brings us to the end of the 52 weeks, the final exam.
Henry takes her to the beach, where the shell was originally from.
The atmosphere is so heavy, and Henry gives her the final, hardest instruction. Go towards what you risk.
He wants her to voluntarily take off the pendant.
He's telling her the magic isn't in the shell. The shell is a crutch. She wants to be free. She has to face the darkness without her armor.
I was holding my breath reading that part. It feels like jumping off a cliff.
It is. She takes it off, and instantly the darkness slams down. The flies swarm her vision. She's blind.
But this time is different.
This time she doesn't put it back on. She stands in the dark. And in that void, she finally connects with her grandmother's memory. She realizes the light Mamie talked about wasn't in the shell, it was inside her. And she just sobs.
It's the catharsis, the release of all that grief.
And as the tears wash her eyes, the vision returns. But it doesn't just come back as sight, it comes back as color.
Vermilion, magenta, azure.
She sees the individual grains of sand on the shell. She's cured. She's archived the world's beauty inside herself, so she no longer fears losing the outside world.
It's such a powerful ending. It makes you totally rethink what art is for. It's not just decoration.
Not at all. In this book, art is a tool for survival, a way to structure chaos. Mon learned you can't avoid the darkness. Blindness, grief, Goya's monsters. You have to look right at it to find the light hidden inside the black paint.
It's a lesson on how to process trauma through beauty. Honestly, it makes me want to go to a museum and just stare at an asparagus for an hour.
You should.
Before we sign off, I want to leave our listener with a question. You know, we all have our pendants. We all have these safety nets, these superstitions we cling to because we're afraid to face something without them.
That's a great point. It could be a habit, a person, a belief.
So I guess the question for you to think about is, what is the pendant you're holding on to? And what kind of clarity might you find if you were brave enough to take it off?
Something to think about.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.